Howdy, happy Monday to you. Well, at least I hope you're happy. I'm happy. Happy Henry. Happy Henry here, hoping he has helpful headlines. Ha. Let's move past this. Academy Award-winning writer John Ridley will be returning to Gotham City in the pages of the next Batman, Second Son. Now, this book focuses on Tim Fox, who is the Batman of the future that readers were just introduced to in Future State, the Next Batman. That book is already going towards a second printing because it sold out pretty much immediately, and it makes sense that DC wants to explore this character of Tim Fox more and explore how he became the Dark Knight, how he became Batman in the future. The book comes out digitally in February and will be collected in print edition starting in April, but also in June we're going to be getting a hardcover collection of all of John Ridley's work on Batman, which includes Future State, The Next Batman, Second Son, and Ridley's feature in the upcoming Batman Black and White. But on top of that, it's also got an extra little story that has the art of Dustin Nguyen. DC's doubling down on John Ridley. I think that it sounds like a great decision. Tim Fox is a really interesting character already. We barely know anything about him, and having that mystery explored should make for a great miniseries, and I think it's going to bring a lot of new eyes to DC Comics. Writer Tom Taylor and artist Andy Kubert take Batman out for a global adventure in the pages of The Dark Knight. This upcoming 6-issue miniseries features a grizzled old Bruce Wayne who goes out to solve a mystery that takes him all across Europe, leaving Gotham behind. This is actually the first time that Tom Taylor has written Batman for more than an issue or as part of an ensemble cast, so that alone has me pretty intrigued, but it's also going to be interesting to see if this fits into the greater continuity of the Dark Knight books that we've seen written by Frank Miller, like The Dark Knight Returns or The Dark Knight Master Race, which Andy Kubert did do the art for. DC wasn't clear about that, but the title does seem to imply it, although previously we've seen them use it for unrelated books like the David Finch Dark Knight series, so who knows what to expect, but should be fun regardless. Damian Wayne is taking back the mantle of the Boy Wonder in the pages of Robin, a new ongoing series. Written by Joshua Williamson with art by Gleb Melnikoff, the new series follows Damian in the wake of a fight with Big Daddy Batman, and he's trying to strike out on his own. He's trying to define his own legacy without the Batman family ties that have more or less defined him up until this point. He's getting a new design, which looks a lot more like his Batman 666 attire, and we're also going to be introduced to new characters like Flatline, who has an awesome design. I don't know what to expect from this series necessarily because Damian's an open book. His future has not been written yet, and Williamson has a lot of opportunities to create unique stories that can't be told with other Batman family characters. We also have a build-up to this book in the pages of Batman and Detective Comics in March, and then Robin starts in April. So if you want to kind of have an idea of what to expect from the series, you can check out those backup features in March so you know what to expect when the book comes out in April. Miles Morales faces his very own Attack of the Clones this April in the Clone Saga. Starting the issue number 25 of the Miles Morales Spider-Man title, this story arc is going to see Miles facing off against a bunch of clones. Writer Saladin Ahmed has been building up towards the story since the launch of the title a couple years ago, and this should be a natural progression that should be really interesting because Ahmed has a great handle on Miles Morales and his world. I don't know where this book is going to go, though, because the Clone Saga does carry a certain connotation. The original Clone Saga was an infamous story in the 90s in which it was revealed that Peter Parker was actually a clone of Ben Reilly, the true original Spider-Man. So I don't know if this story is going to reveal that Miles is secretly a clone of somebody, but it's probably going to be, hopefully going to be something a little bit less contrived. But regardless, it should be interesting because Ahmed's done a great job on the title to this point, and I don't see any reason why he would stop now. Marvel's Champions series will be getting a new creative team starting with issue number 6. Writer Danny Lore and artist Luciano Vecchio will be picking up from writer Eve Ewing and artist Bob Quinn, who started the series last year. Now, I'm a little bit disappointed because I really like Eve Ewing as a writer. I really liked her work on Champions and her work on the Ironheart series, but I'm also excited because Danny Lore is a voice that I'm keeping an eye on. I think that they have something really interesting to offer in comics. This announcement also basically confirms the cancellation of the New Warriors book that Luciano Vecchio Vecchio was supposed to be drawing that was originally planned for last year and got pushed back because of COVID-19. And then Marvel didn't really say anything about it after books started resuming production. So I think that with Luciano Vecchio being on this book, he's not doing multiple books at the same time. So New Warriors is probably gone. The world's greatest detective and the Dark Knight team up in Batman and Scooby-Doo Mysteries. The new series is written by Ivan Cohen and Shelley Fish and features the art of Dario Brizuela and Randy Elliott. It's a long-form team-up between Mystery Inc. and Batman and presumably the Batman family. Scooby-Doo has had a lot of comic books from DC over the years, including the Scooby-Doo team-up book, which is basically the same thing, except that had all of DC, and now it's got Batman and the Bat family. Kids love Batman, kids love Scooby-Doo. You put them together, it's like a peanut butter and jelly sandwich that Scooby will probably eat out of your hands. But you can get your hands on this book digitally starting in March and in print edition starting in April. The saga of Jane Foster continues in the pages of the Mighty Valkyries, a new miniseries starting in April. This miniseries is a continuation of the King in Black Return of the Valkyries miniseries, which is in itself a continuation of the Valkyrie Jane Foster series written by Jason Aaron. Joining Jason Aaron is writer Tarun Groenbeck and artist Mattia de Ilois, who I was recently introduced to through Spider-Woman. He did some pages on that for the anniversary issue. They were beautiful. I expect that this book will be stunning, and I'm also just happy that they're still telling stories about Jane Foster. I think she's an awesome character, and I'm looking forward to seeing where this book goes. One of Marvel's most memorable heroes of the 90s returns in Darkhawk, Heart of the Hawk. Coming out in April, this one-shot is celebrating 30 years of Darkhawk, and it's going to bring back original creators Danny Fingeroff and Mike Manley, as well as Dan Abnett, Andrea Di DeVito, and writer Kyle Higgins. This is a one-shot that's celebrating 30 years of Darkhawk. I cannot believe it's been 30 years of Darkhawk. Darkhawk is ridiculous. Darkhawk is fun. I've always had a soft spot for him because he's cool in the silly way that Sonic is cool if you're a 90s kid. Like, he's not actually cool, but you think he's kind of cool anyway. So if you're a fan of Darkhawk or you're just curious to see where this giant metal Birdman is going to go from here, check out the issue. The Black Widow is getting a new outfit in issue number 6 of her ongoing series. Designed by artist Elena Casagrande, the new ensemble has more than just a hoodie. It's an entirely different outfit, which I love. I'm so happy to see Black Widow in a different outfit. She's been wearing the same thing for more or less the last 15 years with some minor tweaks here or there, maybe a different haircut, maybe different gauntlets. This is an entirely different design, and it looks great. Also, I just read the Black Widow series for the first time this past week. It's now available on Marvel Unlimited, so I checked out the first 2 issues. And I really liked it. Kelly Thompson's doing a great job with the book. Elena Casagrande does the art for these first few issues, and I really like it. So if you like this outfit, you can look forward to it this coming April. AfterShock Comics have announced a new series called Phantom of the Scan from writer Cullen Bunn and artist Mark Torres. This sci-fi horror comic focuses on a man named Matthew, who has psychic abilities that he gained from a comet, mysteriously crash landing to Earth some 20 years ago. But every time he uses his power, Matthew comes closer and closer to death. So in the interest of not wanting to die, Matthew and the other psychics who got their powers from this incident have to try to solve the mystery behind what happened to them. Bunn has done a number of books for AfterShock over the years, and they generally tend to be sci-fi horror comics, so this is definitely playing to his strengths as a writer. He has also previously worked with Mark Torres on a book called Cold Spots, which came out from Image Comics just a few years ago. Fans of Ascender are going to have to wait a little while longer for the final arc of the series after Image Comics canceled all orders for issue number 15. Now, this has happened before with Ascender, and it's happened with Descender as well, where Image Comics will push back the release of the beginning of an arc just to allow for Jeff Lemire and Dustin Nguyen to have more time to fine-tune and polish that arc and make it something absolutely outstanding. Considering the number of awards that Ascender and Descender have been nominated for and won over the last few years, I think that they are allowed to take as much time as they ever want. This is an incredible series, and I know that it is worth waiting for. Dark Horse has announced via their Twitter account that they'll be taking several steps moving forward to create a better environment for all of their employees. Last year, a number of accusations were made regarding the comic book industry and the sexual misconduct that can sometimes happen, as well as abuses of power, specifically at Dark Horse. All these months removed, it's refreshing to see that they are taking accountability for what has transpired and that they are taking steps to ensure that it does not happen again. You can see Dark Horse's entire statement linked in the description of this video. And in a final piece of news that is catered specifically towards hardcore Flash fans, the character of Chillblaine has been cast for the upcoming season of Flash. John Core will be playing the icy villain who plagues the Scarlet Speedster using the paraphernalia of Captain Cold. I'm very excited that Chillblaine is being included. I think it's crazy that we're so far into the Flash that we can have a weird villain like Chillblaine being included in a TV show. I don't know, I just think it's kind of awesome. No word yet on if they're going to throw Chillblaine off of a tall building like they do in the comics. And thus concludes another thrilling installment of the news. Tell me, what was your favorite story that I talked about? What comic books are you reading? Let me know in the comment section below, and I can tell you about what I've been reading. In fact, I might even have a video on such a subject coming out very soon. But while you're at it, can you please like this video and share it with your friends? It would mean a lot to me. And you can also subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. I like that I've seen the subscribers go up week to week fairly consistently. That's been a pretty great thing to see. Now, if you're interested, you can also follow me across social media at A White Cuban, where, you know, I live my life and you get to watch me live my life. But if you just want to watch me talk about the news, this is the place to be. So join me next week, next Monday, for another healthy dose of comic book news.